At the start of the movie, we are taught two snakes. One is a white snake and the other is a green snake. Both snakes are sisters. Now she looked very young, but her age was more than 1,000 years. The name of the white snake is Susan. Both had the ability to take the form of a human. One day, both the snakes see a boy on the mountain, whose name is Cheyenne. Cheyenne was tasting the flowers on the mountains. Both snakes are surprised by this fact that do humans eat flowers too? Actually, Cheyenne has come there with his friends to search for herbs. Cheyenne is moving alone through the mountains. Then the green snake comes there as a snake and scares Cheyenne. Cheyenne leaves the mountain out of fear and falls into the river. Seeing this, the white snake, i.e. Susan, feels pity for Cheyenne and feels very bad for him. That's why Susan takes the form of a human and goes into the river. She gives her breath to Cheyenne and saves his life. After helping Cheyenne, after saving his life, Susan leaves there. When Cheyenne opens his eyes, he finds his friends all around him. He asks his friend that where is the girl who saved my life? His friends say that there was no girl here, but it was just your imagination. On the same day, a festival was going to be celebrated in the village. In this festival, the temple, i.e. the master of the temple and his companions were also going with him. Because they had a doubt that in this festival, the monsters are going to kill humans. Cheyenne is going there with herbs. That's why he takes the temple master and his companions with him. On the other hand, the white snake, i.e. Susan, is missing the moment after helping Cheyenne. How did she save his life? By giving her breath to Cheyenne. She was continuously thinking about Cheyenne. Actually, she was in love with Cheyenne. Susan tells her sister, i.e. the green snake, that I want to meet the boy with whom I gave my breath, whom I saved. That's why they both go to the festival that is going to be held in the village. On the same night, the master and his companions also come with their full preparation to face the monsters. Because they knew that the monsters can attack humans at any time. In the festival, the green snake meets the master's companion. Because the green snake liked him. Because he wanted to be friends with him. But the master's companion says that for now I can't talk to you. Because here I have come to catch those monsters who are going to attack humans. But what did he know that the girl who wants to be friends with him, who is talking to him, is actually a monster? But then the green snake sees Cheyenne. She goes to him and tells him that my sister loves you. And she also wants to meet you. Cheyenne says that I don't know your sister. He refuses to meet his sister. That's why the green snake falls into the river. The boat in which Cheyenne was in, he pushes that boat and takes it to his sister. As soon as Cheyenne comes to Susan, he tells her that I love you. Cheyenne says that I love someone else. But I don't know who that girl is. She saved my life by breathing to me. Hearing this, Susan immediately understands that he is talking about me. And he also loves me the way I love him. To make him believe, Susan takes him back into the water. And she also makes him realize that I am the one he loves. The one who saved his life. Now Cheyenne also knew that this is the girl. The master's companion sees some monsters. That's why he bravely fights those monsters. But during this battle, a monster bites the master's companion. That's why he calls his master for help. That's when the master comes there and fights them. He takes them to hell and burns them there. Next day, Susan goes to Cheyenne's house. Cheyenne is very happy to see her in his house. They both start living together and one day they get married. When the master's companion was fighting the monsters on the day of the festival, a monster had bitten him. That's why the master's companion was turning into a monster. He was very upset about this. He was fed up with his life. If he becomes a monster, he will be a threat to humans. That's why he goes to a deserted place and commits suicide. When he is doing this, a green snake comes there. He asks him, "Why are you doing this? Don't do this, please." The master's companion replies that I will become a monster. I can't be a threat to humans. That's why I want to commit suicide and die. Hearing this, the green snake tells him his reality. He shows him his snake tongue. And he says that if you become a monster, there is no problem. I am also a monster. After this, we see the master who goes to the village. He sees that there were victims of the monsters. They were in trouble and were facing difficulties. That's why Cheyenne used to make herbs to save people and help them. But Susan knew that those monsters had attacked them, which are very powerful and dangerous monsters. That's why they are not going to be cured with just herbs. So Susan puts her breath in those herbs to help her husband Cheyenne and save their lives. Susan had a friend, a mouse. The mouse tells Susan, "What are you doing? You are breathing. You know that this is not less than a threat to you. You will become weak by giving your breath." But Susan had to help her husband Cheyenne and the people. When he gives his herbs to the people of Cheyenne village, they start getting better. Seeing this, the master is shocked. Because the master knew that whatever happened, these people were not going to be cured. But now the master is surprised to see them getting better. And he does not understand anything. That's why he asks Cheyenne, "Did someone help you make these herbs?" On which Cheyenne says, "Yes, my wife helped me make these herbs." The master had found out that his wife is not a normal person. In fact, he is a monster. That's why the master gives Cheyenne a holy knife for his safety. Then the master goes to Susan and asks her, "Why are you doing this? You became a monster and married a human. And you live with humans as a human. But now I am not telling you anything. I am leaving you because you are a good monster. You leave Cheyenne and go. Otherwise, the result will not be good and I will kill you." Saying this, the master leaves. At night, when Cheyenne comes home, he brings wine. And this is not a normal wine. In fact, medicine is added to it so that the snake does not spread poison by biting. But Susan was a snake herself. Cheyenne also gives that wine to Susan. After drinking the wine, Susan feels strange. She starts feeling sick. That's why she locks herself in a room. Cheyenne asks her many times, "Why are you doing this? Are you angry with me about something?" While Susan cannot control herself and becomes a snake. To catch Susan, the master also comes there. And their meeting happens. Cheyenne then stabs Susan with the same knife that the master had given her. Because he did not know that this white snake is my wife. As soon as the knife is placed, Susan comes to her sister, the green snake. Now because Susan was killed with this knife, she could never take the form of a human again. In fact, she will remain a snake. Cheyenne asks the master where my wife has gone. To which the master says that this white snake was your wife. You married a snake whose age was more than 1,000 years. Cheyenne is very shocked to hear that my wife was a snake. Susan's friend Chua tells Cheyenne that there is a herb that can save Susan's life. But it is risky to obtain that herb and is not free of any danger. Because there is a shadow of monsters there. But despite this, Cheyenne goes there and gets that herb by being brave. But the shadow of those monsters falls on Cheyenne. That's why all the master's companions try to save Cheyenne. Chua goes and gives that herb to Susan, which saves her life. And now she could take the form of a human again. As soon as Susan recovers, she attacks the master and his companions. Because she was understanding that these people wanted to separate Cheyenne and him. Somehow Susan brings Cheyenne to a place. She asks Cheyenne that, "Are you okay?" But Cheyenne's memory was lost. He could not remember anything. And he had forgotten his wife Susan. Susan asks the master, "What you did with my husband Cheyenne? Because he has forgotten me." But after a while, Cheyenne remembers everything. And he becomes completely normal. But Susan was a monster. That's why the master uses his power to build an ancient house. And he imprisoned Susan in it forever. It was impossible to come out of that house. But Cheyenne spends his whole life waiting for his wife Susan outside that building. The master's companion had also become a monster. But he was a good monster. And he stayed with the master forever. This is where the movie ends. Thank you for watching. You.